So I'm a rapid growth business coach.
Okay.
I take businesses and move them into growth mode extremely fast. I do it using a strategic execution planning model. Strategy is important, but execution, actually tactics, the things you actually do, if you don't do those, nothing happens.
Right.
And having a plan that does that, we actually build it into a system that gives you like takes your long-term plan and turns it into the 4-week buckets, and so you know exactly what you need to do tomorrow that actually affects that 5-year, 10-year, 12-year plan.
Got it.
And, my first objective was to replace my income.
Okay.
I found
Natural.
that serving entrepreneurs and serving people that want to make a difference in the world, that I have a huge passion and joy associated with that. And it turns out that that's way more important than the money I make, which is unusual, but that's also the
But wonderful.
So there's just, and so that's my why.
Okay.
It's just making a difference. I've worked with a couple executives that have really done some amazing things, and I love them too. But the entrepreneur, right? So the entrepreneur, right? If he doesn't do what's necessary, if he or she doesn't take on those steps, every minute of the day, every dollar they spend, everything that they get involved with is directly going to hit the bottom line. It's going to end up in their pocket. And so they are immensely incented to make the changes. However, they are amazingly fearful, because if they make a bad decision,
It's money.
yeah, so they don't have that paycheck coming in, right? That executive, he makes a bad decision, chances are he's not getting fired.
Still going on vacation next month.
Still going on vacation. And so working through the fear of these entrepreneurs as to what they're trying to get done, that becomes the big challenge. But there's such a joy when you break through that, and all of a sudden you can see the eyes light up, you can see the smiles. I get goosebumps when we get on the right path. The first and most frequent challenge that everybody has is time. How do you manage time? Because there's never enough to do everything you want to do. There's only enough to do the most important thing. And so you are making decisions about how to solve your time, what to work on, all day long. There are studies that say that could be anywhere from 3,000 to 30,000 decisions every single day. Right? Your brain is processing here, there, read, watch, all those things all day long. And if you make better decisions, you're going to get better results. And when you have a plan and a strategy and a focus, and you can say, this is how I'm going to make my decisions, you're going to get better results. And if you don't have that, then you're going
to struggle.
Right? So what did it say? When you wing it, you get wing it results?
Yeah.
Yeah. So time is the most frequent challenge. And then the second one is team. So while time is the most frequent challenge, people, the most complex challenge.
That can be a challenge. Anybody who's managed people before knows that that's probably one of the more difficult sides of this. So how do you help with that?
Oh, so let me just share that, in the corporate world, multi-billion-dollar corporate world, right, where all got suits and ties on,
Sure.
Everybody's an MBA, everybody's, everybody knows goals, benchmarking, This is what we do, right? So you don't run into anybody that doesn't think like you. They're a lot like you, right? They may have a different idea. Maybe you're competing for resources, but in the entrepreneurial world, this small business world, the difference between people is super vast. Every day I learn something new about something. Like, wow, really, that's how you think?
It's surprising.
And I'll say, look, why don't you do that? And they say, well, you can do that? I go, yeah, you can, because there's these beliefs and stuff that everybody has in their head about what they can or can't do in that entrepreneurial space. It's fascinating. And that's one of the reasons why I love it. And then when you go to hire people, right? So you have your beliefs about how you run, and you think those people should work like you do, but they didn't grow up that way.
They don't?
They don't. So then how do you coach them? How do you lead them? How do you get them where they're going? So that becomes another challenge. So team, that's the second challenge. Revenue, everybody needs to make money, right? If you're in business, you got to find a way to make money. Otherwise, you're not in business. Two halves of a whole. There's marketing and there's sales. The better your marketing is, the less your sales have to be good. The better your sales are, the less marketing you have to have. You're going to do both of those one way or the other. But we need to make money. And the last one is exit strategy.
When does this end? How do I get out?
Yeah, so studies show that 90+% of the business owner population doesn't get to exit their business when they want to exit. Something happens. Who knows? It could be you have to move, somebody got sick, you got in a car accident, you got sick, any number of different reasons.
Something that you didn't control.
Yeah, totally out of control, right? It wasn't of your own choosing. And so from an exit strategy standpoint, what we want to do is the first best day to start your exit strategy planning is the day you start your business. Like, where do I need to have this business so that I can decide how to check out? Whether something happens and I can check out on my terms, whether I want to go do something else or I've got something else I've got to take care of. So you want to start that the day you start your business.
But most don't. There's too many other things that are involved.
Oh, they just jump in and start doing.
Sure. This is what I know.
Yeah. So the second best day is today.
Okay.
So time, team, money, revenue, and exit strategy. 4 big problems. One of the things I do is I'm a rapid growth. I get results fast. And if you get to
you need results fast, because if I'm going into coaching and it's going to be a 2-year window, that's not helpful.
Right. Yeah, we want it done in 30 days. Well, not 30 days, maybe 90.
But a good start on it.
3 months, a good start, a path. And then we want to start to see results in 60, 90, 120 days. And so a lot of times I'll get people to where they want to be in a very short period of time, and then they're like, thank you. It's like, oh, I got to get another client. I had a lady I was working with, and she, professional, massive education, worked in her field, and I won't go into all those details, but she's making about $150,000 a year in salary.
Okay.
She has the American dream. She wants to start her own business, so she does. She starts her own practice. And for the next 5 years, she loses $30,000 a year.
Ouch.
She funded it with her savings, right? And so she's like, I got to do something. She's just going to help her. I said, well, yeah, I've got some tools. Let's do some analysis, right? So we took her P&L, we took her financials, which were a freaking train wreck, right? So sometimes that's the first thing that has to happen is to get those
plus and minus. What do we got going on?
Yeah. So we got those done. Ran them through the benchmarking tool I have, which allows me to benchmark based on industry across a whole variety of categories. And so anything that shows up in red, you're behind the average. Anything that's in green, you're ahead of the average. Anything that's in black, you're average. Now, I don't think you want to be average.
No.
But going for the red ones. We hit the red ones first. 2 red ones. One, she had signed this massive lease that was bigger than anything she needed, and there's nothing I could do about that. I mean, there's no way, next year she'll get out of it. But the second one was that her staff count was super high, right? Her staff count was 140% over what the average staff count dollar investment was. And turns out instead of having 5 support members, she only needed 2. But the problem is she didn't know how to run with 2. Right. So we had to teach her and build a system in the process and teach the 2 people that she was going to keep how to run the practice, with 2 support staff and 1 person. And 90 days later, we let 3 people go, and we drove like $140,000 to their bottom line. So she went from losing $30,000 a year to making $110,000 a year.
That's a massive swing.
Massive.